Civis Pacem.
Hello, welcome back to another revision. This one's called Nexus, because we will have a blister being the pivot point of the game later in the game, and we'll jump right into the game.
Yep.
And you see, it's the same thing again I tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you too did the same plan.
I will check out every possible position deriving from this start on, and this will take about some thousands of games, so I'm busy.
And
Maybe millions.
I don't know why you are doing this lately. But
Yeah, I was trying for a new or going for a new setup. Very early combining a little up to the Sagittarius I like most for escaping purposes and so on. And I wanted to bring the game from this centered stare down to some game from the flanks. So I wanted to move to one side and rearrange my troops so that we would maybe act like this and see what happens.
yeah, I remember we had a game where we have two sides fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can maybe try to do something like this. But
Okay,
you made place for your Tribun, as it seems.
right.
And we had a few moves just developing.
Mm-hmm.
There's
And
no
there it is.
problem yet.
Yeah, and as you see, it's rock solid here. Huh? This block is seemingly quite solid.
And your Tribune is doing a good job as well.
Yeah, but a Tribune as a defender, he has better jobs, like escaping maybe.
But as a backup,
Well,
if you have these two Hestadi, and they're fighting with him, so that can be very nice. So,
yeah.
anyways, too many lines.
Yeah.
I rerouted this archer here, and I had maybe plans of going here in the future when this is away, or I don't quite know.
Let's.
It seems that, anyways.
Yeah, but he's centered, so there are a lot of ideas and possibilities. And it's quite nice. The moment that I moved to my right side, you did something quite similar. Most of your troops are positioned here, so that we really have this stare down, with the exception that your Tribune is still in place.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Anyways, you kinda you attacked me here in the black hexagons, but I feel that they're quite solid in my position.
Yeah, they are solid, but I wanted to post some surveillance. Keep an eye out, some vigilance.
Okay,
Better than let you do everything.
interesting. Yeah, I quite like this setup
What?
because of this.
Yeah, the
And
vault.
sometimes you can do this. Maybe you've seen the last video where I had more stuff on my white hexagons.
Mm.
This predates this video, and this archer doesn't cut it because he's very bad at defending this, and this guy too. So that posed problems down the line.
Yeah, not right now, but maybe in the future. Yeah.
Yes, and
This is
you know
the first serious thing here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's quite well
Yeah,
defended.
yeah, but it is an open diagonal.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and you considered it quite the same.
No, I think this was more have a
For the
threat
attack here.
than it was a defense on that.
Yeah, but it suits two purposes.
And
Next.
we have this situation where this is annoying. This isn't as well defended as one would like it to be, and
Mm.
I kind of blocked it.
Yeah, but now here, when you see this triangle, two attackers could be good for me.
I didn't think so.
I would lose
Get
material. I would
3,
lose.
you lose 4, you
Yeah,
get to lose 2.
get to and lose two. I would most likely lose some material.
Yes, and that's what happened. You lost 1. So,
Yeah, but from my point of view, your left flank isn't quite solid at the moment. Yeah, and
yeah,
this,
I
yeah,
quickly came back.
and now this equus is quite good that it defends this spot here because of well, you combined here up and brought your equus here, so otherwise your defense from this hex would have been completely gone, and so it becomes interesting.
Bear in mind,
Hmm?
uh, if this moves and this gets here, I'm probably dead.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the three from the gas station in a line.
Yes. And even worse, I can't combine here because that would lead to a next 2. But we will not get into that. Anyways, you did this,
Hmm.
and it's not a threat yet, but it's quite serious. And the fun thing about this is that you couldn't get onto my back rank here, but if you step here, you can.
Hmm.
So you can maybe juggle between these two positions, go back and forth, and threaten to go to my back rank on both sides. So
Yeah,
that
that's what you figured in the last video with these two rows diagonally, and you can, but yeah,
I felt very frightened, and I blocked.
and re-attacked.
Oh, wait. Ah, okay. I overlooked this.
Yeah, this is why the game is called the Nexus. This ballista here now is in the middle game is a nexus of everything I'm doing. Yeah,
Oh, oh my. Why? Why?
yeah,
Um,
but this way
so
you,
we can show you the thing now. This is a Nex, the most classiest of them all, I think. And this is a Nex 2. If I combine here, like this, for example, and you have to pose.
yeah, the same. Even the
Yeah,
same would be suitable, but this
yeah.
is okay too.
This is a double attack.
Yeah,
This is more clean,
yeah, and
and
you
you
cannot
can.
combine here. You
You're
cannot
blocked.
move. You're blocked. Yeah.
So
So
that's
this
why I
is
had to go here to my right side.
yeah, so
And,
everything on this side was a decoy. I was planning long term. Yeah.
yeah, and
And
it became very ugly.
and
Uh,
maybe can we take back one step maybe?
okay,
Why didn't I do this?
because I would have taken that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. You can attack, so you can. Yeah, okay.
But you could have done this, which is very brutal. But
Oh, I didn't see this. I
you
just
see,
thought it has to be good to have four friends directly in front of the Tribune, but I didn't figure this one. And I
this is
had
like
7 minutes on the clock. Why didn't
the,
I take it to rattle my brain? Damn it.
that's like an
Sorry.
arrow pointing in this direction. If you look,
No,
what's attacking what.
but
Anyways,
that would have been Rex, right?
yes.
Okay. Why screw it up completely? Oh yeah, look at my pivoting point here in the center. Yeah, and I'm bringing
Back,
more stuff. That must be good. Yeah, now you're.
watching back these episodes is so funny.
Yeah, because you
Uh,
see, when you have some time and you can think about it a lot deeper, then you see everything that's so clear.
by
But
the way, why I skipped through this is because it was a lot of exchanges and not very
yeah,
interesting.
now my pivoting point moved, and I thought, hey, this must be good. Right at the moment, I'm up material a little.
Yeah, one piece. Wow.
Hey, come on.
What you have going for you is your strong position,
Yeah.
not the material. Because I'm on the run.
And this is nice. At this point, the Sagittarius was backed up here, and now it is backed up here, jumping over. And
I
Windows,
remember that
Windows
you.
security. Here comes the update. No, no,
By
it's
the way,
everything is okay.
um, it would maybe have been good to do something like this. You would lose 3, but you have maybe plans in the future of, or maybe in this position it doesn't work that much, but there are always plans.
Mm,
You could go here, lose 3, attack, kill this, and then this hangs, and you can attack the Tribune again or something.
mm.
You did it this way that you.
I did it my way. I did it my way and screw it up completely. Here's a move, and I'm losing. But to what avail?
Uh,
Here was hack and slay, just brutally cutting down everything in my scope.
by the way,
Yeah,
this is completely hanging.
yeah,
But if you take this, I would have gone here,
yeah, but
and
that's not.
I figured if I have some prospect in the future of winning, then this is by sacrificing that.
Yeah, but now I say this is
You
so.
didn't sacrifice.
Yeah, but it is quite dumb. And now this is a quite interesting unit. An Equus on top of the Sagittarius is quite powerful.
Yes, it's very strong because look at the Aquis fields. You have these 3, and then the Archer has these 2.
Mhm.
You have these diamonds around,
And in every 6 directions.
and that's quite nice.
Mhm.
But anyways, it's very annoying to run away from something like that. And to be honest, I can't really move. But I could move a little bit, and that was enough. And we had a tough fight. And somewhere here I messed it up. I
Ah,
remember.
you messed it up. Yes, I had the next directly. I had just to grab it, but you messed it up. Of course, that's so obvious.
No, I miscalculated here and I lost one of my equity. And this is basically running around in circles
Uh,
and trying to poke the other one. It hasn't a very deep thing, and I think around here I was really annoyed,
mm.
and we switched roles.
Oh, could you
So
please repair?
oh, so
Sorry.
it was around here that I played white, and black was my father. And because I said, well, I would surrender here,
Mm.
um, even if you play very simple moves, I have nothing. And uh, I I overestimated this position because I thought you couldn't really mess it up, and you will see the ending. I didn't mess it up very horribly, um, but that happened. That did this, and I tried to kill this. Yes, this Equus, but you made an in-between move. I moved away, and you.
Oh no!
Oh, that was so pathetic. And you took my Equus.
Mm.
Yeah, I was. That was so unnecessary. Anyways, we had this position where I was a Centuria and was hunting you around, and I lost again something, and that is why I said I messed stuff up.
No, no!
This
uh,
is,
that's a funny part about this game.
this is hilarious. Anyways, I'm saying this today a lot, but
Yeah.
I was attacking two things. It
Yeah,
didn't do it
no.
because they're
There's.
defending
Yeah.
themselves, but you try to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
something over here.
Yeah. Reinforcing the Aquas and setting up a discovered attack. And now, well, just a little of. Yeah, a little shuffling around. Now, yeah.
By the way,
This
you
is stupid.
let's go back 2 steps. Let's say you would do something like this. I think that happened in the game. Don't underestimate what a Centuria can do to your defense.
Mm.
This is just a whole attack, and you would take this after that moves somewhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter where. That's why I stepped here, by the way. Because you can't attack me with your Tribune.
Yeah, you were laying out this nice little trap.
The only thing you could have done in this position,
Moving here, attacking
yes,
you. The
this.
in-between move gives me time.
So in this position, you could have gone here, but then I could have taken this with,
Anyway, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
don't. There are a lot of traps in such positions.
Yeah, the end game isn't calculated out completely at the moment. Of course, we are not mathematicians. Here is one of these in-between moves attacking from the side.
We exchanged here, and yeah,
And then we decided to have a draw.
because ideally we're both the same unit, so that would be here. and these two survey will not survive. I will
The
probably,
survive will not survive.
yeah. What will happen is probably that I do something like that, boop, and
Yeah.
boop, and then I will kill this. These both could be exchanged or not. It doesn't really matter because even in a position where you're very dominant, say
Okay, this
say
is
this,
dubious.
yeah,
Yeah.
say you have something like this. Yeah, how are you going to kill me?
Yeah, it's
Even if you would have to get this position, and you have, I don't think this is possible, seeing as I have something moving around that could trade at every moment practically. And in this position, sure, would be next, but you're not going to get this. So
but sorry. You can dance around here, and the position from your point of view is every time the same. You cannot move, but you are forced to move.
yeah, but
Hey,
I
but
would
you could, yeah, okay. So if this unit wouldn't be here, then maybe, but you wouldn't be so stupid to step to one of these edges.
yeah, the only thing you could maybe argue that you would do this, which again you will not get to this position.
Hmm.
But say you could, then
That's nice.
you would try to walk here and then do this. But again, this will not happen.
Hmm.
And it's kind of pointless to argue about something like this. It will be a draw. And
Yeah,
that wraps up this game, I
I
think.
would think so too. Enough for the moment. These messages from unnecessary tools on my computer. Okay. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, then subscribe to our channel. I could sing a song. No, I would
Yeah.
leave that out today. Um, yeah, ring the bell, share it with your friends, give some comments below, maybe print out the stuff we offered you down in the comment section and print it out, play on your own as much as you can. And yeah, I would say have a good one and see us soon.
On Tribun.